did you guys know that the yellow vest movement that started in France as labor movement and rising up against oppressive taxes is in Canada now a completely fascist movement?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
So from what I remember, this happened pretty early on, because the yellow vests are still going strong in France as they originally started, but
the yellow vests are still also unfortunately staying strong.
So that's the thing. They popped up both here and in Canada quickly after they started in France, but because I guess I should just say umbrella term, North American conservatives are fucking idiots and have no sense of just anything.
What happens to words over here?
So much happens to words. Even after it's translated into English, like hearing that English, their brains don't know how to fucking turn it into thoughts.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm a Republican in America. So if I go to Ireland, what am I? Because I'm not a Republican.
No, you're definitely still a
that's
Republican.
for sure.
Please, yeah, we'll take you. We'll teach you good. Yeah, no, just because they assume that Macron is like French Hillary. They assume that the yellow vests then are more or less the French MAGA people, borderline QAnon fucking yellow vests in the U.S. and Canada.
They're like, hey, you have Macron, we have Trudeau.
It's basically the same thing. They got French names and they suck. It's like, no, well, they suck for the same reasons, but you Canadians are doing it real wrong.
Coming at it from, I feel like, two different directions. I feel like one of y'all is coming from...
How long can we keep on talking to both groups using the same terminology? Like, we believe that there is a group of individuals who control our entire daily lives.
No.
Yes, exactly. They permeated the highest rankings of society, and they affect literally everything we do. Yes, preach it, brother.
God.
Just both sides getting riled up. Absolutely. And I think we both know what type of groups we're talking about.
We basically just do the Yellow Vest convention, and then we just literally, like, that would be our grift. We just do the Yellow Vest convention, and we get both groups to come, and we just have people that get up there and say things that are just, like, towing that line to rile up the crowd.
This is what we have to do. When the debates come to Houston, we should have signs. Number one, just because, getting some clout, spread some bumper stickers, that type of bullshit. But then also we should wear yellow vests outside the building.
Just tailgate. Yeah.
Oh my God, tailgating the DNC debate.
Why is that not a thing? Tailgating the DNC? Okay, we gotta make that a fucking thing. I swear to God, I will drive straight fucking down to see y'all. Holy shit.
The debates start on September 12th. Bo arrives drunk on September 11th saying, never forget.
Oh, I'm always drunk every September 11th saying, remember your sins, you American pig dogs. Like, yeah, let's treat it like a fucking... Because it's already kind of treated like a big sporting event. So why not
I am so
further
on board,
the metaphor.
Zach. I hope you're okay.
Yeah,
with...
we kill a bunch of natties in the parking lot and then get in a fight and get arrested. Like good Americans.
Let's get arrested on your birthday, Zach. Huh? Well.
Yeah, no, we'll
anyway.
make a Facebook event. We'll have a whole fucking watch party. All right.
We make it like a like a team event where the Gravel Gang squad is in one corner of the room. The Marianne Orb warlocks are on the other side. Who's gonna get a hold of the chips and dip? Nobody knows.
We're gonna run it like it's a fun summer camp. And when you come in, you get a bracelet, and they're handed out at random. So you just have to support a candidate.
This is fantastic. Now, here's my question: should we all go in yellow vests, or depending on what candidates get kicked out? I'm sure, based on y'all's D&D fame, you probably know someone with wizard robes or wizard adjacent robes.
Grand wizard robes.
Okay, well, that could work too. So one person dressed up in regular wizard robes, not the other kind. One person dressed up in the yellow vest protester outfit. And then one person dressed as it's a placeholder role, but, either the ultimate, like, libsock, oh, hey, electoralism will save us type dude, or dressing up like a black bloc revolutionary type guy if Antifa is still viewed as a terrorist organization. at that time.
So you're essentially saying political cosplay.
It's the most important part of any tailgate.
Yeah, somebody roll up with like their truck and like a smoker, like really make it a classic fucking classic tailgate.
No, we just have. There's just. Do you know how many food trucks are in Houston, Bo?
Oh shit, yeah. And we all get so hammered before the debate that like somebody's fucking hauled away screaming like, fuck you, Corey! Fuck you, Corey! and like, you're not sure if they're talking about Cory Booker or they're talking about Corey, some dude they met 5 cars over. You know, it's a real, it's like I said, a capital E event.
Even if it's just the 3 of us doing this. And even if it's only for one night because we legally won't be allowed back for the second night.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Dolphin attack.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm one of your hosts, Kelton, and joining me today is my good buddy Zach. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really great. I'm waiting for the day that we put our other friend Bo in front of me.
I fucking refuse. How's it going, ladies and gents and non-binary friends? I want to rhyme that with friends, but
Frimps?
friends isn't a word. I don't fucking know, dude. I'm trying my hardest here.
No, I liked it.
I'm-
That was pretty good.
I'm woke enough.
Yeah.
That's like a C+ woke.
That-
all right?
That's like a
And
that's like a cup of
That's
tea.
all honestly I think is expected
That's
of
like-
me as a human
That's
being.
drinking kombucha on your way to work.
Drinking kombucha on the way to work while also locking the car doors as you drive past homeless people.
Okay, now.
Okay, listen.
I haven't moved to Austin yet.
I just want you to listen to my podcast, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fucking business cards made for this. Hey, I'm an influencer, dude. Like, if you could not, I'd really appreciate it.
It's some dude just holding your card. His hands are shaking and he's sweating and he's just got the American Psycho monologue going through his head. He's like, damn, my podcast
God.
is nowhere near as good as this. Look at this card. Look at that card stock.
Eggshell white, embossed.
He crumples it in his hands. Fuck your podcast. Runs back to his house. Mom!
The homeless man
I need to
runs
know-
back to his house to talk to his mom.
No, Bo's the homeless
Ah,
man.
okay,
He's the
gotcha.
one
Wait,
with the sign.
wait. I feel like we're all getting our wires crossed here a little bit.
Bo's the homeless man. He's got the sign. He's screaming about, watch my podcast. Listen
my
to my
podcast."
podcast on the corner of an Austin street because he refuses to live in a house because fuck landlords.
Fuck landlords, indeed. Yeah.
Also, he just has his eye on a real nice piece of property that he's keeping on the DL because squatters' rights last 5 years in Texas.
Squatters' rights.
I've been here. I
what the
promise.
fuck?
Gonna put the nicest septic tank this side of the Mississippi right in here.
So you're saying I'm gonna put a Waffle House in?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bo, I want you to look at me dead in the eyes, or imagine you're looking at me dead in the eyes, and tell me you wouldn't want to build a Waffle House for you to live in.
Oh, dude. All right. Like, okay, if I were like, you know, it sounds a lot like the kind of thing like some fucking like middle school kid would come up with, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna live at Six Flags, or I'm gonna live at Disney World or something.
Or I'm gonna see my dad again.
Oh no.
Kelton, keep your trauma to yourself, okay?
But that's actually like the kind of thing, like, yeah, I'm gonna live in a fucking Waffle House. That is exactly what I will do.
Kids who dream of living in a Waffle House when they were younger, 100% were molested. So I'm so sorry.
Oh
Bo.
no. Oh no.
I don't make the rules, okay? You know, like something environmental and economic factors, something patriarchy.
Yeah, all right.
something,
We get it.
something.
You've read a book, asshole.
Conquest
Yeah,
of
just-
bread.
just come out and say it.
it.
Yeah. I love when Peter Kropotkin mentioned Waffle House in the Conquest of fucking bread.
Yeah, don't you know that he was really into Jungian psychology?
My favorite part was when he started victim blaming the entire time.
As
That's culture.
God, it really, really, I'm gonna need like a cast after saying these words out loud, but like, as the internet left, like, we really have our priorities straight, huh?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like, I understand that there's probably numerous atrocities happening in the third world. Iran is collecting oil tankers like they're goddamn Pokemon cards, but
As they should.
Yes.
But you know, we have to focus on the real important news that's pressing down, and that's of course the entertainment industry that exists in America.
Genghis cheated on Changus, and that's just not acceptable.
It's truly the who shot JR of the leftist community.
We're really hammering home the Texas theme this episode. I fucking love it.
I mean, like we got to double down into it. You know, as long as
Hell
none
yeah.
of us like start eating and drinking Chick-fil-A, I think we'll be okay. That's how we get canceled.
Wait, y'all are both recording in like boots and like Wranglers and a cowboy.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I'm actually recording
not the only
on
one doing that?
horseback as we speak. So,
Oh wow, hell yeah! Well, I can't wait for that remix of Old Town Road.
I wish we could get to that level of clout, but
We were going to record a Psychic Dolphin Garage remix, but the acoustics in here are just really bad, so...
also I just couldn't stop saying slurs. I'm sorry. I got into character. I couldn't let it go. At first, I was told to embody Lil Nas X, and I used both types of slurs, which he can use that I can't use. Then I was told to embody a classic cowboy, and he just used whatever slurs he wanted to.
Cowboy slurs are on like a whole other level that, I mean,
You have to do research.
like I want to say I wish I had seen them in a museum or something before you had just broke into them. Like I don't know how you even found those ones.
I was calling people things, then having to explain why I was calling them that.
Jesus.
Like 19th century, just derogatory terms.
Making
dude.
references to diseases that had been eradicated over 100 years ago, you know.
Like I didn't know there was a harder R.
It's engraved. That's how hard the R.
Oh no!
Damn. Speaking of engraving, do any of y'all have merch that has been signed by famous people?
Yeah, I went to an Andrew Jackson Jihad show in 2016 and had Sean Bonnet sign a bottle of Mad Dog 2020 for me.
Hell yes.
Damn, that
seems-
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this weird set of gloves signed by OJ and a used knife. And, I mean, it was all sent to me in a box, really. Just said,
if
you know,
you got one of those, like, if you got, like, what are those little, like, sets you get at the dollar store where it's got, like, a mask and, like, a radio and, like, a little gun in it. It's, like, your military thing. It's got, like, a little camo vest that you, like, button up.
oh, the win your girlfriend back outfit, right?
Is that what?
Oh no.
Yikes.
Oh no.
You got a little one of those, but it's like the OJ one, and you took it to get him to sign it. Would he sign it?
You know I could just sign a football, right?
You just, you know, he was a football player. Like his like main like claim to fame is not murder, man.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Are you gonna sign my alligator skin football?
If you see OJ Simpson trending on Twitter, your first thought isn't, oh, I bet he has some nice season predictions.
Yeah, when OJ Simpson is trending on Twitter, you don't think, huh, he finally made it to the Hall of Fame.
Why not?
The prison system is wrong. Free OJ?
Yeah, no, there's the fucking take right there. Yeah.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe Bernie Sanders wants OJ Simpson to get the right to vote. Huh? What? Doesn't he have what? I'm very confused. Where do we legally stand on that?
Yeah, I support giving blacks the right to vote.
Well, Bernie, radical take, says fucking Turning Point USA.
Why
Turning
Bernie
Point
is
U-
wrong.
Yeah. Dave Rubin comes with a centrist take. Listen, I'm not saying that black people shouldn't have the right to vote. I'm saying that black football players shouldn't have the right to vote. It's an important distinction.
Yeah.
Which also Dave Rubin thinks all black people are professional football players.
Like, exactly. In the sports I follow, all the famous black football players. LeBron James, Ken Griffin Jr., O.J. Simpson. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, America doesn't have a swim team. What are you talking about?
Oh Jesus.
My God.
Speaking of the other American pastime, sitting on your ass and eating chips.
Hell yes.
Oh, I'm already there. Yeah, tell me about it.
Sorry, but you can go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were stealing my thunder. I was so ready to support you in that. This is a co-op game, man. Fucking
Zach,
if you want to do
Zach
it, go
was
for it.
calling the play to set up the alley-oop. Bo thought he was getting sent to the bench. He was putting on the overshirt.
I didn't pass it to him. I just threw it up. Bo was supposed to catch it and dunk it. Bo turned and he started
I was
jogging
so
off
ready to just be like, okay, yeah, this is Zach's thing now.
Yeah, no, we did the fake kickoff where we don't actually kick it, and I was gonna pass it to Bo.
You just take a knee.
Yeah, no, it fucking dinks off his helmet as he's like walking off the field. Yeah, no, what really infuriates Kelton is when I then start talking about like football stuff, when he starts talking about NBA playoff stuff. That really, if you want to see
Hannibal Buress voice, sports is the same.
If you want to see the light leave a man's eyes, don't stab him, don't shoot him. Talk to him about something really like niche and kind of like smart about sports that you had to do some research on, but make sure you talk about it in reference to the incorrect team or the incorrect sport.
Sports fandom is really, really weird, but I mean, you guys want to know what makes sports fandom seem just tame and kumbaya fucking drum circle comparatively? The Game of Thrones fandom. Those guys.
Oh, so now you're stealing the from me.
Listen. We can't have a 90-minute riff about how we're trying to get to the Game of Thrones section here. We gotta cover some ground. We can only talk about racist OJ for so long.
We gotta get some yardage, man.
Game of Thrones got like 8 Emmys. I don't know.
All of them.
That's a big number of Emmys, right?
You really followed the Game of Thrones nominations there at the Emmys. I don't know.
100 Emmys?
Yeah,
I don't
Bo's
fucking
on
know.
top of
Whatever's
the
a big
sports
number of
and
Emmys.
the Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones this season was nominated for a record-breaking 32 separate categories.
Jesus.
So,
how many categories are there total?
Oh my God, there's probably 50 or 60.
8.
There's
Okay.
8.
So they got about 50% of the categories.
Yeah,
that they could have gotten.
I mean,
A solid chunk, yeah. Damn.
and I mean, I know some people weren't necessarily huge fans of this last season. I know some people want to burn this last season to the ground and have them remake it somehow in some way.
Just like The Shire, right? Haha, Game of Thrones reference. Yeah, just like the Death Star from Game of Thrones.
Death Star is my favorite anime.
Buddy? Oh boy.
People didn't like the last season, but the last season was written to be the Emmy nomination awards, People's Choice, fucking Silver Platinum Album Awards bullshit, which is...
Well, so that's the thing. Like, I joke a lot about being like super contrarian and not liking anything because I'm an asshole and that's my sole personality trait. But like the 2 episodes I saw of Game of Thrones were the last 2, and the last one especially felt a lot like, all right, we're just gonna like hand this to Peter Dinklage and hope that he can score us as many fucking last minute Emmys as possible.
I mean, I want you to take that philosophy, but apply it over 3 seasons, Bo.
Oh no, seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Jesus.
no, makeup honestly is one of the few things I think Game of Thrones did right. How they aged Peter and made his eye sockets deepen with each episode that went by. So even though they were filming over like an 8-month period or whatever they do for those seasons, like he aged visibly with each episode because he was carrying more and more.
The reason that I specifically wanted to talk about this was that the last season was viewed as bad by everyone, and at Comic-Con, someone mentioned that this last season was actually a media-led hate campaign, and every season has ended controversially because that's what they're known for, is the twists that happen on the show, and that's completely false. Most of their season finales have 96 to 100% ratings overall. This one I think had like a 46% approval. I mean, people just were so done with the overall show that they didn't really have anything to go on. The script in general people thought was very, very bad, and the actors truly were forced to carry all of this. So it could ironically be good for the actors because, I mean, they're acting the hell out of every scene, but the lines they're saying are absolute garbage. So, what was the actress? Gwendolyn Christie, the one who played...
It was Gwendolyn Christie, Alfie Allen, and Carice Van Houten. So it was Sir Brienne, Theon Greyjoy, and Melisandre.
Yes, yeah. And those 3 actors all kind of had their hero moment or Emmy nomination moment, and HBO didn't set up a campaign for them, so they had to submit it themselves, or rather their agents had to go through the channels to submit it themselves, and they ended up getting nominated, which, I mean, it's fantastic for them, but it just kind of shows that the creators, they keep saying, oh, well, we didn't actually give up on the show or anything, but they are already working on the Disney Star Wars universe trilogy that they're going to be working on. And everyone kind of thinks, well, maybe they might have given up. And when you're not even going through the full process to nominate literally everyone, it really comes off as you just kind of cut ties emotionally to this show. And now you're just trying to do whatever comes next, especially when you go to Comic-Con, or rather when Comic-Con happens, and rather than celebrating with all of the rest of the cast and crew that shows up, you say that you have scheduling conflicts and you fuck off to who knows where.
Is Season 8 of Game of Thrones just Sword Art Online 2?
I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Says the guy who only saw 2 episodes.
Hey, I mean, I fucking know Sword Art Online sucks, but I mean, Jesus, like, is that last season of Game of Thrones Sword Art Online bad?
I mean, yeah.
What I'm saying is,
that Arya's my wife is what I'm saying. So.
Oh no, Zach, let's get some clarification.
Hey,
no. Yeah, season 1 Arya is my waifu. Season 8 Arya is a little too old for me.
Zach.
Oh God, that's how anime works, boys.
That's how mafia works.
Yeah, I mean, although in general I can't really blame D&D for not wanting to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah, who wants to go to Comic-Con? Like, you can't get anything. You can't hardly get in because it's too expensive. Everything's too expensive. You can't get any of the merch because it's too expensive. You have to wait for hours.
The trailers like minutes after they debut at Comic-Con because they know it will get leaked, so then they just release it anyway. Like, it went from a fun place that was basically nerdy book signings to get, Neil Gaiman to sign your copy of Sandman that you've had on your top shelf for the past 5 years. And then it got turned into like this weird geek-themed frat party of sorts. Like, hey, everybody, check it out. We got Seth MacFarlane here. You
pay
guys- you guys-
$400 to stand in line for everything, and I don't know. The only people that have fun here are the
Wristbands.
rich people.
Bwah, 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 bwah. Check out our VIP room.
What I really, really want to do is rent a fucking $500 a night hotel room, and then bring somebody back dressed as, I don't know, fucking Totoro. Is that a timely reference? I don't know. I'm gonna fuck Totoro. That's my point. And I'm gonna be sad about it the whole fucking time. I'm gonna ruin my own goddamn childhood. It's gonna be like I walked into a Spencer's Gifts. Dick
No,
first.
you find someone's on Craigslist to dress as Totoro, have him like you catfish him, you get him to walk up the stairs, just be real excited. He opens the door, and there you are sitting on the edge of the bed, getting blown by the dog man from The Shining, and you're like, no, it's not what it looks like.
Perfect.
That's
Well,
the right comic.
Yeah, that's the
content.
thing. Almost should we make nerd culture unacceptable again? I say yes. That's my fucking hot take right there.
Who said it?
Nobody should be nerds anymore. No more fucking Marvel movies. No more goddamn
Okay.
real anything.
Real quick question.
You're only a nerd if you play Dwarf Fortress while doing heroin and listening to Dungeon
See,
Synth.
that's
all right?
that's the OG nerd culture. I challenge anyone to watch any of the Marvel movies and talk to me about how that's so nerdy. Like, what's actually nerdy about it? People start talking about, oh, this is nerd culture. What? These are action movies. That's all they are. I mean, like, it's not super duper fantastical, not any more than it existed in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, Doctor Strange sounds really crazy, but so does fucking Time Cop. Like, but no one's like, I love that nerdy film with Jean-Claude Van
Fucking
Damme.
Thor's incredibly nerdy. It's like, let's take an aspect of Norse mythology and turn it into a guy that fights crime. It's a superhero. Like,
Well, yeah, and we can't even get like any of the like niche, we can't even get any of the niche storylines that the comic writers have created for these things because
Again, it sounds nerdy, but is it really? Big, buff, strong Aryan man who comes from another place and then, meets up
is
with
this
some
the
chick
are you
in the
talking
desert.
about The Witcher? Are you talking about the Witcher trailer? Because I just want to say
Oh, I'm actually talking about the 1980s film Starman with Jeff Bridges. That's what I'm talking about.
oh wow, that's a fucking.
That's
throwback.
right. I came prepared on this riff.
I just want to say that if
Jesus.
Henry Cavill is listening to this podcast, which he does, because obviously Henry Cavill listens to this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we call him Hank Cavill,
Oh yeah, guys, you know Hank? Wow, yeah. Sorry.
The fucking Witcher trailer. That
good, huh?
Was
Hey.
dude, Chris, like bring it tissue next time.
I just really wish we weren't video chatting because it's all over the screen.
Yeah, no, well, I think you should probably like get a step stool and like clean your ceiling after what just shot up across your screen. Like, you really went for it there, pal.
I mean, I do enjoy the fact that everyone's loving how The Witcher is getting a nice adaptation, but again, how is this really nerd shit? I guess, like, what's super geeky about The Witcher? The Witcher is very grounded and gritty, and it's one of these things. I mean, I guess
it's very
my
big.
question
It's
is,
very
what's-
big in the culture because as a piece of artwork, it was done very well. It's not. I feel like Hideo Kojima is kind of like, now he's not going to be as like niche as his original stuff was, but like his original stuff was more geeky because it was really good and nobody had heard about it. There's what's the threshold for geeky is not a question we can answer because we're not a pop culture podcast. Yeah, I don't think we're the protectors of geek culture here. So there's a point where something that is good can be good, but once it gets so big that it has to appeal to a wider audience, it loses what makes it good because you have to take away, we don't want Thor to just talk about how great the white race is because we like to appeal to a bigger audience. So, yeah, not nerd culture anymore.
As far as the Witcher thing goes, I feel like it's just gonna be like, hey, here's Game of Thrones with a gray wig. Like, that's my expectation. Honestly,
the only I mean yeah, basically there's no way that they're gonna be able to write the story that will feel the same to everybody because it's an open world. You play it however the fuck you want, and like you don't. It's not gonna go over well. The only thing that I see here that looks interesting to maybe our particular niche is the Snowpiercer TV show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
I mean that'll be, of course, exactly up our aisle of things to talk about.
It's Black Mirror meets Terminator. Oh no, meets the Priests.
It's
remember
that?
movie?
No, it's
God.
Black Mirror meets Factorio.
Oh, you mean the one with Carl Urban as the main villain and Paul Bettany as the hero about religion and vampires and all that? That film, Priest?
That is
Nice.
that is the actor that is on the Wikipedia page.
Oh man, I just
Wonderful.
was thrown all the way back into a fucking dollar theater in Houston, Texas.
Fucking Carl Urban. Yeah, that was his that was
That's the film he chose to make after doing the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
yeah.
You know, they're not all going to be home
He was
runs.
like, you know what? I came up with the Doom movie. I lucked out getting money with Lord of the Rings. I'm back on my bullshit with Priest. This is who I am.
yeah. So he did the Riddick film, which was his.
That's true.
Oh wow, jeez, holy fuck, what a
Yeah,
track
he did
record.
Riddick film. Which is one I remember. I remember he did Antler.
Oh fuck! Okay.
He did Priest, and then he did Dread. So
Yes.
he did
This
these
is now
so
this is now a
close
Carl
together.
Urban podcast, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I'm down
Okay,
for
so
that. Hell yeah.
let's look at this here. Okay,
I
he
will take
was
a hard
on
pivot to this.
in
Yes.
several different roles. He was on Xena Warrior Princess. Then he decided to jump over into film. And of course, he actually did Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Return of the King. Then did Chronicles of Riddick. Then was the bad guy in the Bourne Supremacy. Then he decided to do Doom. Oh my God.
Holy fucking shit. Yes, what a filmography.
Then Pathfinder, where he was the Viking baby who got abandoned in North America, raised as a Native American, and then fought Vikings.
Look, I'm just saying that Carl Urban doing Doom is a million times better than Gerard Butler doing Gamer.
I mean, you're not wrong. And, of course, he was McCoy in all of the Star Trek films.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the first one was before Priest. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Then he was in a TV show called Almost Human. So that's sci-fi.
Really, just every fucking angle, just killing it. Yeah.
Playing the same kind of dude in every role.
Wow.
Oh
yeah,
man.
There's a lot of shit movies coming out. But have y'all seen anything about Crawl?
Oh yeah, it's out right now.
Yeah, the fucking climate change / gator horror movie.
Of course.
What a film for its time, really.
I mean, like, it's truly in and of the moment. Like, we cannot. Like, Crawl comes out, and then all of a sudden, all of these news stories about gators start popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Do we think it's a coincidence?
Not at all. No fucking
pop
way.
culture just parallels reality. Obviously.
Let's go through. There were 3 major reptile stories, 2 with gators. The first one was that a alligator was caught after a 5-day manhunt in Chicago, and of course, all the residents started to nickname the gator Chance the Snapper.
Hell yeah! That fucking rules.
How awesome do you think that must have been? Just to be like, I mean, like, yeah, I see the gator. It's in our community, but I'm not gonna call the cops. Okay, rules are rules here, people.
Now, remember, this is only like a 30-pound gator. This is like a baby that was in the Chicago park. Like
Like a puppy. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a puppy.
If there was a
puppy
30-pound
baby
rat
boy.
roaming around, we would be terrified. Yeah.
That's
It's a
just
gator.
That's just every day in New York, I thought.
Yeah, no, I've seen the Super
You
Mario
lit-
Brothers movie. That's exactly how it is. Yeah.
John Leguizamo trying to pretend that he's Sicilian for some reason. It's reverse whitewashing.
Yeah.
Ow.
No, like I always say, I have the most respect for POC, people of Calzone. You know. No, but I really think that the fact that like Chicago, a place where you really don't expect to see a fucking alligator, was so cool about seeing a fucking alligator. It's like, yeah, good on you, Chicago. Like, yeah, good job.
I mean, they were cool about it, but I wonder if they would be as cool with it as like the people in Florida have been, because in Florida they were told like, hey, listen, you guys need to stop flushing your drugs down the toilet. You need to stop dumping your drugs random places, because we're going to start getting some methed out gators pretty soon, and it's not going to be great for everyone.
Yeah, I love the fucking like, late 2010s version of the bad sewer gator myth. Like, not only do we have alligators in the sewers, but they're getting high on your supply, so be fucking careful.
I like that the water that is flushed down your toilet and goes to the sewer system is then pumped out into the what are the lowlands called? I don't remember the name of it.
Swamps?
The
Wetlands?
Everglades?
Yeah, the wetlands. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that the water that is flushed down your toilet and treated at the sewage plant then just gets pumped out into the wetlands, because that seems like a good idea. I get that
The fact that
treated
Johnson
it,
and
but-
Johnson hasn't, used as a PR stunt an effort to clean up the wetlands in Florida and then put a whole bunch of air fresheners out there, just call them the Everglades. I mean, real missed opportunity for them.
Yeah, we're gonna get all our meth back in the hands of proud tax-paying Floridians, as opposed to in these filthy reptiles in the swamp.
Yeah.
The gator's like, I pay taxes. I know my rights.
Yeah,
I'm as American
And-
as anyone. I like to do crank and fuck lady
Yeah.
gators.
just like any proud Floridian, I smoke a whole shitload of meth and then go rob the 7-Eleven, and that's how I live my goddamn life. Doesn't matter if I'm a scaly reptile.
They would.
I vote just like anyone else.
Hey, don't get any closer. We have stand our ground laws, don't you know?
Yeah, I'll take your fucking leg off, pal. Look out for the death roll.
Here's my question. Like, we're all worried about methed out gators, but the more I think about it, that just means that they're going to be really angry, kind of, just real janky, toothless gators running around, right?
That's such a sad mental image.
What are you gonna
Jesus.
do? Gum me?
Yeah,
Fucking-
exactly. Like, ow. I mean, like, it's annoying and it's definitely going to bruise, but.
It's like somebody closed the door on my arm. Ow. Oh yeah, this is really like, it hurts, and it's gonna probably hurt for like a week or so. What are you doing, you dumb fucking lizard?
Yeah, can you stop, please?
Aw. Do
almost
the
just-
alligators call it crocodile?
That's actually a
Jeez.
slur, among the, like, crocodiles can say that, but alligators can't. It's really just, I mean, like, it's not our place to judge, but we just have to respect.
It's a cultural
the
thing, yeah.
nomenclature. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
In other Florida news, apparently 73 crocodile hatchlings were rescued at the one of the ponds near a South Florida nuclear plant.
Fuck yes.
In other words, 73 crocodiles almost became mutants that actually could vote and
Yeah.
become sentient beings.
No, this is way better than whatever bullshit Marvel put out at Comic-Con. Like, you know, I'm very down for this small extended family of gator men. Or sorry, crocodile men. Sorry. Again.
All right, so I have
DC already
Big
has a
apologies.
killer croc character, guys. I mean, like,
Oh shit, you're right.
at this
yeah.
point, we're just, we got to really hammer out the spec script.
I have a
and
pitch
hand it over.
for Atlantic Rim.
Okay.
No, that was the whole joke.
Sorry, the title.
Okay.
Okay, good, because the title.
Yeah, the
alone
title
was
is
enough to
Atlantic
really...
Rim because gators at the nuclear plant are now they're gonna morph into kaiju. Is the
Yeah, and of course we have like dipshit Florida guys who like turn their RVs into mechs and fight
No, they
them.
start
Powered by
snorting their meth.
and lawnmowers.
They start snorting their meth so they can go fight the kaiju, but then they realize that the kaiju already have their meth.
This is either like a fucking SNL skit from 2014 maybe.
Oh,
Or-
2007. Come on.
Oh yeah. Or it's a D&D campaign I'm going to run 2 years from now. Like there's no in between.
Oh, Bo, where'd you get all these super original quest ideas? Oh, they just come
Totally
to me.
didn't rip him off of a fucking Guillermo del Toro movie. Yeah.
Can't wait for the porn parody of Zach's film to come out, Atlantic Rim Job.
That sucks.
I mean, it would be very tastefully done, though. It'd be like an art house film. It'd be about a woman who wants to fuck a half crocodile, half man creature. It would win a couple Oscars.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why didn't
mostly
The
for
Shape of Water
costume
get a
design.
porn parody? Yeah.
I think
that's a
we
good
all
fucking
know
point.
that it did, but none of us want to look it up. Because, I mean,
Well, I'm saying
that's,
why did okay? Yeah. Let me amend that question. Why didn't The Shape of Water's porn parody get more attention? More critical, like artistic attention.
Yeah, I mean, like it's all right there for all of us. I mean, it could be like a fish woman and a hot janitor guy. He could call her Gilly.
Oh,
It all makes sense.
It does. I hate it, but it does.
Like, I mean, like we're all worried about like how to have sex with the aliens at Area 51, or we were last week. Now it's all about breeding mutant gator babies. Come on now.
But it's
I just
Florida,
really
so,
appreciate.
you can't get started unless they're already related to you.
cheeks that I can clap.
Just the Florida Gators, just like this is wildly inappropriate what you've done to us. You turned us into a mascot. How could you?
CIA.
It's really good that no other Florida.
Gators.
It's really, really good that no other Florida teams are based on groups of people who might not appreciate their likenesses used for sports teams. Florida State.
I mean, like
That's my one sports reference I'll make ever.
it was your seminal reference. So
Oh god, that was a fucking top-notch pun.
Ow.
Jesus.
Ow.
Zach is actively shutting down on us. Just. I mean, okay, so you guys saw the news story, I assume, about how Elon Musk is bragging about how he can control monkeys with a Neuralink chip that he can implant in people's in the monkeys' brains. Right?
Yeah. They're
I
gonna
did see
read
that
his
episode of
mind
Adventure
and they're
Brothers.
gonna revolt on him. This is literally just Planet of the Apes.
Yes, exactly. But here's the twist, because again, like sci-fi always gets it right in concept, but never actually in plot point. He will try to do this with a gator. The methed out gator, the special meth, will override the system, and it will take over Elon Musk's brain.
Oh, no.
It hasn't already. Okay? We have to be careful here. Because here's my question. Based on how we expect Elon Musk to act in the next several years, how would we know if a reptile had taken over his brain?
He would do a
How
lot
many
of
QAnon freaks will then freak out over the idea of reptiles taking over the brains of the highest members of society?
Yeah, no, Elon Musk is just gonna meet up with Mark Zuckerberg again, and Zuckerberg, of course, is gonna shake his hand and say, "Hello, brother. It's so nice to finally have you join us."
Blinking sideways.
Yeah, one eye at a time.
Oh Lord. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense. I would surprisingly, I would much rather live in that world than the real world that we currently live in. You know, where parents are told that their kids are going to be put into foster care if they decide to not pay their school lunch debt, which arguably the worst way to go into foster care because you will immediately get bullied. Like,
Oh, geez, yeah. I mean,
I don't know what the hierarchy is. I mean, like, you know, because there's all the different kinds of foster care kids. Like,
yeah.
what happened?
The top of the pyramid is my parents were killed in an alleyway.
Every day he gets adopted by his butler. He just likes to put a real power move on the other orphans.
I think DC's finally got him beat. That'll be the like post Comic Con reveal right there. Yeah.
So, federal student loans, but for school lunches.
Yeah, you take out you go $10,000 in debt in like 5th grade so you can have shitty PB&Js instead of even shittier just J's.
Yeah, the Zoomers to us millennials, like, oh, you graduated college with $100,000 worth of debt? I graduated fucking high school with $50,000 worth of debt. Fuck you.
All these Zoomers going into V-Bucks debt to get like a slice of pizza every Friday.
The government actually starts its own cryptocurrency, and it's just to scam all these middle schoolers into investing.
Perfect. It's like, hey kid, if you want to fucking eat, better buy this thing that might be $1 million tomorrow. It might be 2 cents tomorrow. Good fucking luck figuring that out. At
let me put it this way:
before you know how to do algebra.
Yeah, exactly. Let me put it this way: I haven't put my money in it, but I think you should. Huh? How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sad now.
Yep. Well, that's how politics is these days.
Yeah.
Just sad. If you're paying attention and you're not sad, you're not paying attention.
But that's what we got to remember. I mean, it's a both sides type thing, you know? Like, you know, it just so happens that on one side there are methed out gators quickly gaining sentience and taking over Silicon Valley for some weird reason. And on the other side, you know, we have children getting put into the foster care system and not being able to afford shitty little submarine sandwiches for themselves. We may not be able to trust the government. This is a slightly, you know, left-com leaning podcast overall.
No.
Sometimes we come across a government official that is so good, so pure, and just so golden that, of course, he cannot stay in one position too long. Much like a Johnny Appleseed type character, he goes around making everyone's day and lives, I would say, better. And of course, I'm talking about an Iowa official who was ousted after bombarding his staffers with his Tupac obsession. 66-year-old Jerry Foxhaven, which he looks as white as his name would imply, ran Iowa's Department of Human Services for 2 years. And during that 2-year tenure, the Tupac superfan held Tupac Fridays in his office, where he handed out Tupac-themed cookies and regularly traded Tupac lyrics with staffers. So, reports came out, and then we were able to get a hold of some of his work emails, and we're talking over 350 pages of Tupac material that
yes.
Mr. Foxhaven has gone through. Things talking about how it's going to be his birthday soon, and talking about how, oh, it's Father's Day, and Of course, it's going to be Tupac's birthday, and quotes scattered throughout, real nuggets of wisdom that help everyone really just understand the wisdom of this man.
Yeah.
Signing all of his emails with different Tupac lyrics each time. Sending that email out to all 4,300 Department of Human Service employees for 2 years. And then
I don't think this can be emphasized enough. In Iowa.
And he was then ousted. Now,
Tragic.
The Iowa governor claims that the reason he was let go was because they wanted to move into a new direction, and he wasn't fired for his love of Tupac. But I think what we've all really learned was that Republican Governor Kim Reynolds of Iowa is actually just a giant Biggie fan.
Well, no, so I think the thing that really set the governor off was he was moving to rename the governor's mansion to just the Thug's Mansion.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All day, every day. I mean, like, Jerry Foxhaven, he always asked his employees to refer to him as J-Dog Fuxhaven. So, you know, maybe not the most work-appropriate thing, but the guy's a legend. He is what I want every bureaucrat to be.
He misappropriated Iowa tax dollars by setting up a permanent Tupac hologram in his office. No, this guy looks like your one good math teacher. Like, you know how, like, in high school, like, a lot of math teachers are either cops or fucking gym coaches or both? Like, this guy looks like the one guy who's like, oh yeah, Mr. Foxhaven, I really like fractions now, thank you. Like, this is the one dude who really fucking reaches out and fucking Mr. Rogers the whole thing.
Yep.
This guy works as like an accountant pro bono for local communities and helps them find out what right tax breaks are needed to help save the community youth shelter.
Oh no.
Hell yeah.
That's the type of dude this is. Because again, with a tagline of, you know, Iowa official ousted after opinions on Tupac come out.
You're really expecting the worst, yeah.
I don't understand exactly why you would let this guy go. Because, I mean, you know his Christmas parties had to be the single greatest thing of all time.
Everybody was so tired of him making cookies that all the chocolate chips, and it just spelled thug life.
You know, Obama ran on hope and change, whereas this guy ran on hope and changes.
Oh no!
I'm really running dry on my fucking Tupac references real fucking quick. Hey, but you know what? Honestly, even though he got fired, at the end of the day, only God can judge him.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just gotta keep
right,
your head
I'm
up.
I mean, at this point, he's like, I mean, it lasted 2 years. I never thought I would, with all eyes on me, you know?
Yeah. Now that
This
I've been fired, there's so many tears, but life goes on. I ain't mad at you.
Maybe if he runs for office in California, he'll get some love.
Oh,
Please,
wow.
God,
wow.
let me finish this bit.
Oh, I mean, that was a real Hail Mary of an attempt.
Shut the absolute fuck up. If I hear another goddamn sports reference, I might have to end this podcast.
As they say, to live and die in L.A.
Well, I fucking hate you guys.
Well, listen, if I die tonight...
Oh, no. All right, own up. Who pulled up the Wikipedia page? Who's got their Spotify up right now, just hitting shuffle?
3 white guys podcasting about their favorite Tupac lyrics.
I only get 6 skips, okay? We gotta fucking finish this soon.
Well, guys, I think that's going to go ahead and do it as an episode.
That's run its fucking course for sure.
It's July. I can't wait for this garage to stop being so hot.
Yeah.
And humid.
Sweaty dolphin garage. Gotta love it.
Yeah, sweaty dolphin garage. Sweaty ballsack garage.
Oh, hey, shit, y'all! If we get big, can we like start like selling our sweat as like a Patreon thing?
I mean, we don't want to get banned from Insta. Oh, we still are actually. So
Are
fuck
we
it.
still
Never
banned
mind.
from Instagram?
Hell yeah, we're starting to
Yeah.
sell sweaty ballsack water. I guess.
I'm gonna
Check
get
it
one
out.
of those Greek scrapers and just like sit outside smoking cigarettes and just scraping the sweat off my skin and then scraping it off the edge of the scraper into a jar.
Just we would have to really dress it up, put it in a real nice perfume bottle, you know.
Yeah, so you can spray it. Oh, day psychic dolphin garage.
I love it.
Microdose the whole time. We don't.
Is
tell
there
anyone.
LSD in here? We have no fucking clue. We're not goddamn chemists. Fuck off.
Well-
1 in 20 customers are gonna have a wild time.
Well, I guess for legal reasons, where can people find you, Bo?
I'm not fucking telling anyone where they can find me. No, you can find me at Schnedwob on Twitter. That is SCHNEDWOB, because I guarantee you, the mumbly thing that fucking came out of my mouth 20 seconds ago is not something you're going to be able to spell on your own. Or it might be. If you're cool, I don't fucking know. Good luck. Have fun. Anyway, how about you, Zach? What's your handle, pal?
My Twitter handle is Shinobi1Kenobi. You should follow me, but you should also really follow the podcast Twitter. And if we get 69 followers, I'll start posting on there more often. But only 69. If there are already 69 followers, do not follow the podcast page.
There's
for
like an
the love of
overflow
God.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Again, until
Um,
we get to 420, it's really, you know.
Well, Kelton will post until 420. I'll only post until 69. So.
We'll do it in shifts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bo will post once we've reached 69,420 followers.
No, I do one post when we hit 666, which is me streaming Doom until my body physically fails me. But then other than that, I'm not posting a goddamn thing.
Bo's a very strong poster for us.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, if you want to focus less on posters and more on posers, you can find me on Twitter at Sex Confetti, because I'm an adult with a child.
Because he's a poser with a poser name on Twitter.
That's right. I prefer the term alt model instead of poser. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, deuces.